Welcome to my channel. I'm the covered call guy, and this is my journey to creating a $120,000 per year passive income portfolio. It currently yields about $70,000, just about $6,000 per month. I will be strictly using covered call ETF to reach my goal. But before I reach my goal, please leave a comment. I'm open to new ideas on what I should invest in. Once I reach my goal, I won't be selling my covered call ETFs. It will be my primary income. Let me know if I should just keep reinvesting it and reach maybe 150,000 as my new goal, or 200,000 as my new goal. Please let me know. Maybe I'll research and do some real estate, but I'm open to new ideas. Please leave a comment and let me know what I should do. All right, legal disclaimer before we start. This content is for informational and educational purposes only and is not financial advice. I am not a licensed financial advisor or tax professional. All opinions are my own and may be incorrect. Trading and investing involve risk, including loss of principal. Always do your own research and consult a licensed professional before making any financial decisions. I am just some random idiot you found online, and I could be completely wrong. All right, guys, with that out the way, today's topic is going to be a hot one. It's going to be a very unpopular opinion about 401k. I truly believe it is a total sham. It is a total scam. It is a total scheme. Don't like it. I used to have one. Did some research on it. I was naive just like everybody else. I got into it just because everyone else was in it. And you know what? I cashed out and I'm doing my own investing. In today's video, I'll go through my own deep dive, my own research, my own due diligence, and the conclusion that I've come up with. And maybe this video would help you understand 401k better. Maybe it'll give you a new view on it. Again, yes, I know I can smell the hate comments already. I can smell the, that I'm a dummy for not having a 401k. But you know what? From the research that I've done, I don't like it. I rather use my own money to invest it in a brokerage where I completely control it and I can invest how much. All right, well, that out the way, let's not go into too deep right now until we get over the slides. Let's begin the video about the 401k. The 401k indictment. It's a scam. All right, the accidental monster. Right, so the origin of the 401k, right, it's more of a footnote, not a plan. And what do I mean by that, right? In 1978, the dormant provision, the Revenue Act includes Section 401k, originally intended to limit executive profit sharing. It lies dormant and it was ignored for 2 years. In 1979, the loophole, consultant Ted Benna sees a creative interpretation to apply this provision to regular employees' salary deferrals, not executive bonuses, right? So it was a word on play that they saw, and it was like, oh, this is what they meant by it. In 1981, the birth of the 401k, Benna's first client rejects the plan, fearing the IRS would repel the loophole. Benna instead persuades his own company to adopt it. The creators regret, I created a monster. That's what was said by Ted Benna, the father of the 401k. Benna states the system is too complicated and riddled with drownings of non-transparent fees. And he said, hey, if I were starting over from scratch today with what we know now, I'd blow up the existing structure and start over. Now, why would he say that? Why would he call his own creation a monster? Right? The great risk shift. Right, the corporate motive, escaping the pension promise, right? That's the whole reason why it was created. Back then, you did your 20 to 30 years and you got a pension, right? It was a defined benefit, which was the pension, guaranteed predetermined payout for life. Company managed all the fund and investment. If funds underperform, company must make up the difference, right? It created a massive volatile liability on the corporate balance sheet. The risk was 100% on the employer, right? And they stopped it because what happens when you retired after 20-25 years? What if your pension was only meant to give you another 10-15 years and you lived 20-25 years? That meant you were taking out more than you contributed. So the defined contribution 401k was invented, right? To replace the pension. It had no guaranteed payout. Benefits depend on market performance. Employee is forced to manage their own funds. If funds underperform, the employee's retirement is lost. Employer's obligation ends the moment a contribution is made. The risk is 100% on the employee. How risk became empowerment, right? The great risk shift was not cost saving for the system, it was cost shifting from the corporation to the employee. It was marketed as empowerment, as a choice, and as portability, right? You can shift your 401k to from different company to different company to different company, right? Portability just included leakage as confused employees cashed out accounts between jobs, paying massive penalties and taxes. Ask around, ask anyone who has a 401k how much they know about it, right? What they're invested in, what the if they're actually invested. Sometimes the money is just left there and they think, oh, it's automatic. It's not. In some cases, you actually have to go into the portal, your website portal, and invest the funds in the 401k manually every single time, right? Others are left trapped in old high-fee clunker plans from former employees. Again, not all 401k are the same. All right, so my conclusion, the 401k is a corporate liability management tool that was successfully marketed to employees as a retirement benefit. It is a all fugazi, right? The tyranny of compounding fees, right? The hidden retirement killer, right? A lot of people don't know about this, about the 401k, right? It comes with a lot of admin fees, costs for record keeping, compliance, and custody, often charged as a percentage of your asset. So they grow as your savings do too, right? Investment fees, the expense ratio of mutual funds paid regardless of and often in spite of chronic underperformance, right? If you don't know, if you don't read up and you don't know how your 401k operates, and if there's a management fee, you're losing out. You're paying other people to manage your funds, which you can do yourself outside of a 401k, right? And the third one, hidden 12B -1 fee. It is an insidious marketing fee. It's a kickback from the mutual funds to the plan administrator, creating a conflict of interest. And again, a lot of people don't know this, right? A lot of your employers get enticed. Think of a lobby for Congress saying, hey, no, use us to manage the plan for you, and we'll get a slice, and we'll get a point, half a percentage, or half of 0.50% of 1%, or even a 1%, or even a 2%. Now you're paying BS fees to a third party. Right? The key conflict is that 12B-1 fees mean your advisor is incentive to choose high fee funds for the menu as they get a kickback. Your best interest is not part of the equation. Right? The opacity of a feature, not a bug, right? 41% of the survey from GAO, which the Government Accountability Office, report that it found 41% of 401k participants did not know they paid any fees until they were ready to retire, right? And then they would hit all the fees, right? And then 70%, 2001 AARP study found that over 70% of participants believe they paid no 401k fee at all, right? This opacity is intentional. If 70% of participants don't even know what they're paying, there is zero pressure on the employer or providers to lower the fees. They don't care about you. It's true. Right? All right, the 500k plus fee drag, right? So based on $10,000 a year for 30 years at an 8% gross return, if you just self-directed and you invested yourself in a brokerage account, you managed it yourself, you would have had almost $1.2 million based on a $10,000 a year for 30 years at 8% return. Now, if your 401k is an average small plan with a 1.37% fee, you would have lost $214,000 and $147 to fees. And then if you had the BS corporate high fee clunker, right? You would have lost $500,000 based on fees. $500,000 just gone, just like that. Please, guys, do your own research on the 401k. Let me know if this is not true, because most 401k have these type of fees. Why are you paying other people? Why are you paying a third party to manage your investment? It makes no sense. Do your own research, educate yourself. 8 hours a day on the weekends when you're off for a whole month consistently, or at least 2 months, right? That's 8 days, right? 4 days a month, 8 days and 2 months. And I promise you, you will have a better understanding of how to manage your own money. You will do far better in life. Systematic underperformance, right? The walled garden and conquer menu. The 401k is a walled garden forcing you to choose from a limited menu of funds pre-selected by your employer. But a lot of people don't know this. Right? The menu is not the best in class. It's a trap filled with clunker BS funds whose high fees pay the 12B-1 kickbacks to the plan administrator. A 2025 analysis of 58,300 plans found that 99% offer at least one overpriced and underperforming fund. 85% of the plans include at least 5 such clunkers, right? BS funds that they pretty much force you to invest in, right? A separate analysis found that 63% of 401k plans as a whole failed to even match their market benchmark. The plan itself is designed to fail. SPIVA, the smoking gun, which is the 15-year failure return rate. This chart just proves that high fee active funds in your 401k are statistically guaranteed to fail. You are forced to choose from a menu of where 9 out of 10 options underperform a simple low-cost index fund. Right? I get it. It's scary to invest. It's terrifying, right? Especially if you're a new investor. But you can learn. You can educate yourself. You don't have to have other people invest the money for you. If you take the time, 2 days out of the week, 8 hours a day, like a real job, to learn about the index fund or income investing, you will see how easy it is. You can be as simple as VOO, sit and chill, forget, and just pile in on that. Or you can be a little bit, once you get comfortable with that, you can expand your inventory of stocks and ETFs to invest in, right? Maybe not all growth, maybe you want some income, and you will see it will perform much better than at least 50% of these 401ks. You guys have to do your own research with 401ks. You see a lot of these 401ks are not meant for the employee's interests. The DALBAR behavioral gap trap, right? So this chart here just shows that the system manufacturer's failure, it placed 100% of the risk on an untrained employee, gives them high fee underperforming funds, and then blames their behavior for 8% annual performance gap. This is a system failure, right? The S&P returns about 12%, and then if you were to go into the 401k plan, you'll get maybe barely 4%. The comprehensive case, 50 plus reasons to afford the 401k. I have at least 50 reasons why, right? Reasons 1 to 10 is the phase and conflicts of interest, high management and hidden fees, fund lineup, decisions not in your best interest, administrative fees, even in passive plans. Fees compound just like your growth, right? As your growth compounds, so does the fee, taking away the gains, right? Fees compound, costing 6 figures over decades. 89% of active funds underperform their index. Brokerage offers 0.03% ETF versus fees of 1% plus in 401ks. That adds up. It may not look a lot, but it adds up over decades, right? Paying retail mutual fund prices, not institutional. Poor reporting and fee transparency. Plan advisors may be commissioned salespeople, and it's extremely confusing fee disclosures that buries the true cost. Reasons 11 to 20. Limited choice and underperformance. Limited fund selections restrict yield. No access to high yield covered call ETFs. For income investing, forced into underperforming target date funds. Limited to U.S. Domicile funds. No access to real-time trading. End of day pricing. Lack of income forced options for retirees. Chronically underperforms due to expensive design. Cannot tap into new ETF income strategies quickly. Many plans do not allow individual stock investment. One of the biggest red flags. You can't buy REITs or MLPs or alternatives directly. Reasons 21 to 30. Lack of control and flexibility. Inability to use margin or advanced strategies. Employers matching is not always guaranteed. They can switch it up on a dime. Plan rule restrict investment changes. Lost flexibility during job changes, and that's if you can even have a job for at least 20, 30, 40 years for your 401k to grow. And when you retire, you're dependent on the market. If the market happens in 2008, or when you were to retire during the COVID crash, look what happened, right? You would have to, from 2008 to like 2018 or 17, you would have to work for your 401k to grow back. And in 2020, when you're about to retire, you would have to wait at least a year or 2 years for it to grow back. What if you couldn't? What if you injured yourself, right? A lot of people say, oh, it's just a year or two. But what if you have injured yourself, right? Or what if you were having a health issue and you couldn't, right? So early withdrawal penalties limit emergency access. Cannot automate advanced tax loss harvesting. Use surrender charges. Surrender charges may apply on rollover. So when you want to switch over and roll over your 401k, it might be another surcharge. Risk of leakage, cashing out when changing jobs. Regulatory changes may alter or restrict rules. All right, reasons 31 to 40. Systematic and structural failures. Vesting schedules deprive mobile workers of match. Cannot move to new sector exposures in real time. Limited access for self-employed or gig workers. Is way too complex for the average. You're forced into advice program with extra fees. High asset requirement for lower cost tiers. Money is tied to the job. It is not portable. A lot of people don't know that. Possible blackout periods. Block trading. Limited flexibility during major market events. So it's going to be very hard for you to buy the dip. Subject to, of course, congressional changes outside of your control. Reasons 41 to 50. Traps and hitting risks. All right, these are the last 10. It's a potential plan for mismanagement or fraud, right? Because again, you're not really able to have full control over it to pick the funds you want, or if you have the fund choosing and investing for you. Roth 401k are still subject to RMDs. High fee may apply to stable value options. Excessive paperwork, again, a lot of non-transparent processes may pressure you into high fee annuity products, but you don't even need. Forced rebalancing can sell winners. Multiple providers complicate financial life. Okay, please, if you educate yourself and you understand, you could do this yourself. Income payout options are inflexible. Widespread legal risk, and Wall Street insiders are enriched by guaranteed fees. You're enriching Wall Street, not yourself, by having a 401k. Is that clear? Is that clear and cut? It's I'm telling you, you guys need to please do your own research, especially if you have a very big 401k and you're deep in, because you are pretty much tied to your employer and to the stock market. Especially if you're near retirement, you have to really think about this. Is it worth it? And for those new and about to get into 401k, you might not be trapped now, but if you get into it a year or two and you put a decent amount, you guys would have had a better return if you just did it yourself in a brokerage. You don't have to have someone else manage your money for you. That is not the path to wealth. If you don't learn financial and understand how it works and how to grow your own money, you're going to always lose money. It's really that simple. If you can't manage $1,000 or $10,000, how are you going to manage $100,000 or $1 million? If you constantly need outside influence to manage your money, they're all operated on guaranteed fees. They don't care whether you make the money or not. Remember, the risk is on you, the employee, no longer the employer. And then we have the layoff trap, right? And like I said, there's no guarantee you can even build it up. By the time you have 5, 6, 7 years into it, and you have to take out the money, you are going to have to pay fees. Unless you want to take a loan out. Right, the 401k loan is marketed as a benefit for emergency liquidity. The trap: if you are laid off or leave your job, the entire loan balance is typically due immediately, within 60 to 90 days. The consequences: if you cannot repay it, and who can after a layoff, the entire balance is treated as a taxable distribution. This triggers a massive tax bill plus a 10% early withdrawal penalty, making your vulnerable financial moment exponentially worse. So again, the 401k is meant to trap an employee as long as possible until they are no longer needed at the workplace. I'm going to say it again. A 401k is meant to trap an employee for as long as possible. For as long as 20, 30 years, maybe even 40 years. It's meant to keep you working. It's not meant to free you from the 9 to 5. They don't want to free you from the 9 to 5. They want to have you working for the rest of your life. They want to have you working away your prime years, your golden era, for you to retire at 60, 59 and a half, earliest. For most people, minimum 62 to 65. And for millennials and Gen Z, maybe 67 to 70. So think about it. Do your own research, right? If you don't think this is a trap after this video, then I hope you know what you're doing with your 401k versus an actual brokerage where you can manage your own money, you can invest as much as you want, right? You're not capped. You can buy the dip immediately. You can buy, sell, in and out as long as the market's open immediately. You're not locked in. You don't have no withdrawal or early withdrawal penalties. And if you're into income investing, you get paid either weekly or monthly, and you compound a lot faster, right? An 8% yield will double within 12 years. A 12% yield will double within 6 years. A 15% yield will double within 4.5 years. So think about this. 401k is not designed to free you. A 401k is not designed for the employee's best interest. It is meant for you to invest and maybe have some money left after 30, 40 years of working. Whether you do or not, the employer doesn't care, right? Once you can no longer work, and you have no more active income, and you're dependent on the 401k, the employer doesn't care. And the end of the day, you're just a number. All right, let's get on to the superior alternative. All right, the walled garden versus the open market. The 401k is the walled garden. Right? It looks nice from the outside. Limited to 15 to 30%. Limited to 15 to 30 high fee mutual funds. No individual stocks. No access to high yield income ETFs. Forced end of day pricing. No access to options or hedges. Trapped by plan, rules, and advisors, right? Versus a self-directed brokerage universe of 3,000 plus ETF and all stocks. Ultra low cost of 0.03 index funds. High yield covered call ETFs from 8 to 15 and or higher. I just put those range because in the ETF world, those are considered conservative, right? Those are considered more set and forget. And for the newbies, total control with real timing trading. That is so good, right? With total control of your real time trading. If you see a dip and you buy and it recovers, you exponentially outpace the 401k, and the 401k will never catch up after that, right? Ability to use options and advanced strategies, and true financial sovereignty. The most important part right there. Your own financial sovereignty. You're not paying a fee for a freaking advisor to invest in an index fund, which you can do yourself. All right, the 816k plus opportunity cost, right? If we use the broken 401k model, all right, this is versus a self-directed high yield. So we're using high yield now, based on $10,000 a year for 30 years. The self-directed model, by simply accessing superior high yield investment, result in a outperformance of $816,000 and $886. This is the price of being locked in a 401k system. You have no mobility. You are absolutely crushed in returns. Do you guys see this difference? If you guys don't mind working and could have worked for 30 plus years, you guys are outpaced by $800,000. $800,000 in just investing the money and learning yourself. There's no reason why you should be focusing on a 401k. All right, this is the cover call, guys. Unpopular final verdict. I know I'm probably gonna get a lot of disputes with and rebuttals against the 401k, but this is my final verdict, and it's definitely unpopular, right? My unpopular opinion. My conclusion on why it's broken, right? It was an accident, a tax code loophole for executive that its own creator calls a monster. It serves corporation, right? It was a great risk shift to de-risk corporate balance sheets by transferring 100% of the risk to employees. It's a parasitic fee drain, a hidden retirement killer, siphoning up to 28% or more of your nest egg to Wall Street. Its products are defective, right? It's a walled garden, forcing you into a menu of clunker funds with a 90% statistical failure rate. It blames the victim, right? It's saying it's your fault that you have a 401k, even though we offered you and try to force you into one, right? Its complexity manufactures the behavioral gap and then blames the investor for emotional decision making. Right, financial sovereignty, breaking the 40-year trap, right? The 401k is designed for 40 years of contributions, not 40 years of freedom. It's designed to trap employees with golden handcuffs, right? Vesting schedules to penalize you for leaving. It creates career lock via 401k loans, making it financially catastrophic to quit your job, especially after a layoff. It builds a psychological trap of illiquid nest egg, forcing you to stay at a job to protect the account you can't even control. All right, financial sovereignty means you control your money, you control your timeline, and you are not a financial hostage to any employer. All right, coming up on the last stage, a final word, a mantra. This is my rhyme. All right, stay away from the 401k. Fees and locks can make you pay. Build your own wealth in your own way. Cash flow now beats someday. And that's how I'm going to end it, guys. I hope you guys like my unpopular opinion. I absolutely hate a 401k. Yes, I used to have one. Now I don't. I've just taken it out, paid the fee, and said, screw it. I'm going to invest the money myself. And you know what? I'm probably going to be able to retire before 35. I'm going to try to work till I'm at least 40, but you know that's going to be optional. By 40, if I do work till 40, it's going to be completely because I choose to. I'm doing it because I want to, not because I have to. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys had a fun few laughs with my unpopular opinion. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about my video. I am ready for the nasty hate. See you guys on the next. Stay tuned.